Hi, you guys. So after grading today's tests, I realized that some of you need a little bit of extra practice and then a retest. So what I want you to do is you're going to need to do test corrections. So any of the ones that you missed on your test, I want you to make sure that you fix those and that you know why you missed them. And then I'll give you an extra practice assignment to do, and then you can do a retest. And the retest is actually quite short. So number 7, if you missed number 7, let's go ahead and go over why you may have missed that one. So in this particular drawing, we know that this angle right here is 43. We also know that these two angles added together make 180. So if you take 180 and you subtract 43, you get 137. So angle 4 is 137. Okay, and then we know that this angle right here, 56, it is a linear pair with this angle right here, angle 3. And so if you take 180 and you subtract 56, you get 124 for angle 3. Okay. We also know that this angle right here, 43, and this angle right here, 56, and this angle right here, angle 1, those need to add up to be 180. So 43 plus 56 plus the one we don't know needs to equal 180. So if you add these two right here, you get 99. If you take 180 and you subtract 99, that's going to leave you with an 81. Okay, so this angle right here is 81. And if this angle right here is 81, angle 1 and angle 2 make a linear pair, and so angle 2 would be 99. So now we can answer the questions. Okay. The measure of angle 3 is 142. No, it's not. It's 124. The measure of angle 1 is 99. No, it's not. It's 81. The measure of angle 2 is 137. No, it's not. The measure of angle 4 is 137. Yes, the measure of angle 4 is 137. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, the thing that you needed to realize in order to do this next one is that A and B are parallel lines, and these two right here, you can see that they're in matching corners. Those are called corresponding angles. And the thing that you know about corresponding angles is corresponding angles are equal to each other. So you needed to set up an equation that said 14x minus 76 equals 8x plus 2. And then from there, you just solve that equation by getting these two variable terms on the same side. Remember, if they're on opposite sides, you have to use opposite operations. So we're going to subtract 8x from both sides. 6x minus 76 equals 2. And then add 76 to both sides. And then 6x equals 78. So when you divide by 6, you get 13. So all you needed to do on this one was find the value of x. So the value of x is 13. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, on this next one, number 9, the thing that you needed to recognize here is that this angle right here, 57, and this angle right here, these are alternate interior angles. So that means that angle 3 is 57. Okay, and then we now can say that this angle right here, angle B, and this angle right here, angle 3, and this angle right here, number 2, those all have to add up to be 180. So if you take 33, you add it to 57, you add it to the one that you don't know, that has to equal 180 because the three interior angles of a triangle have to equal 180. So from there, 33 and 57 is just 90. And then when you minus 90 from both sides, that tells you that angle 2 is 90. Okay, so you now know angle 2 is 90. So now we can find angle 1 because this one's 57. We now know this one's 90, and we know that these three, angle 1, angle 2, and angle 57, need to add together to make 180. So 57 added to 90 added to the one we don't know needs to equal 180. So basically you need to add these two together, subtract from 180. That's going to give you 147. And then when you subtract 147 from 180, you end up getting a 33. So that means the measure of angle 1 is 33. Okay. On the next one, it says, which of the following describes two triangles that are similar? Now, if triangles are similar, that means that their angles are the same. So on triangle 1, measure of angle 1 is 67, measure of angle 2 is 15. If we add those two together, that gives us 82. And if we take and we do 180 minus 82, we're going to get a 98. Okay, so that means these two are not similar because their angles do not match. Okay, on the next one, 24 and 101, that makes 125. So that means the extra angle would be 75, which means that those don't match. Okay, the next one, 45 and 80 make 125, and 125 and, oh, sorry, this should have been 65. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just made a big, huge mistake. This one should have been 65. And so you have a 65, and you have a 101, and you have a 24. This one would be 24. So these ones right here really are similar. I apologize about that, you guys. I just did a simple math error that sometimes happens to teachers too. So when you take 180 and you minus the 125, you do get 65. So this one is the one that is similar triangles. Okay, next one. So on these two, the thing that you needed to remember about these two is that the three interior angles of a triangle add up to be 180. So x minus 2 plus 15x plus the third angle right here is a 90. And all of those equal 180. So now we're going to combine like terms on the left side, which gives us 23x plus 88 equals 180. And then we are going to subtract 88 from both sides. So we're going to have 23x equals 92. And then when you divide by 23 on both sides, you get x equals 4. Okay, so this one should have been x equals 4. The next one is also a triangle. We know the three interior angles of a triangle add up to be 180. So that means 15x and 21x and 24x, those need to all add together to equal 180. So 15 plus 21 is 36. 36 plus 24 is 60. And then when you divide by 60 on both sides, you get an x equals 3. Now on each of these, you can see that they have expressions where the number is getting multiplied by x. So when it says find the largest angle, well, that's going to be this one right here because the 24 times x is going to be the biggest angle measure. Okay, next one. Find the length of the missing side x. Okay, so before we start this one, we want to make sure that we know these are similar triangles. So when I add 51 and 74 together, I get 125, which means that this angle right here is 65. And when I add 74 and 55 together, that means I'm going to be left with this angle Okay, I need to back up a little bit. Obviously, it's been a really long day for me. It's 4:15 on Friday, and I've been here all day, so I guess I've forgotten how to do simple subtraction. 51 and 74 is 125, and 180 minus 125 is 55. Okay, so this one's 55, and then this one right here is a 51. Okay, so these are similar triangles because the angles are the same. Now, this side right here, the one that's in between the 51 and 55, it corresponds with this one right here. Then this side right here, the one in between the 55 and the 74, it corresponds with this one right here. So now when we set up our proportion, let's do red sides first. So we're going to do little red side over big red side is equal to, we're going to do little orange side over big orange side. Okay, and now we can go ahead and solve this proportion. So when we cross multiply 49 times 40, we get 1,960 equal to 35 times x, which is 35x. Divide by 35 on both sides, and you get x equals 56. Okay, next one. The thing you needed to recognize here is that this is the exterior angle. The exterior angle is always equal to the two remote interior angles added together. So that means that x plus 15 plus x plus 15 needs to equal 3x. So that's going to be 2x plus 30 equals 3x. And then when you subtract 2x from both sides, that tells you that your x is equal to 30. And we have to figure out the one that is not a true statement. Okay, so the measure of AHD, so that's this one right here, AHD, the expression for that one is 3 times x. We know that the x is 30. 3 times 3 is 90. So this one is not true. That's the first one that we came to. That should have been our answer. The rest of these statements are true. Okay, 15. Okay, on 15, you should have recognized that the relationship between those two angles are same side interior. And since they're same side interior, they need to add together to equal 180. So 3x minus 5 plus 2x minus 15 needs to equal 180. Okay, so on this side, we're going to have a 5x minus 20. And then we add 20 to both sides. So we get 200 equals 5x. And when we divide by 5, we get 40. So x equals 40. Now that is not the angle measures. The angle measure for this one is going to be 3 times 40 minus 5, which is 115. And then the other one is going to be 2 times 40 minus 15, which is 65. Okay, moving right along. Next one, find the measure of angle 5 if measure of angle 1 is 75 and measure of angle 3 is a 40. Okay, this one was actually super easy because angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are equal. So if 1 is 75, then that means that 5 is 75. Okay, number 17. All three of these angles needed to add together to equal 180. So you should have done 5x minus 7 plus 3x plus 1 plus 11x minus 4. And all of those need to equal 180. So 5, 8, 19x. And a negative 7 and a negative 4 is a negative 11. A negative 11 plus 1 is a negative 10. And then those need to equal 180. Okay, better move my face up here. Okay, So now we're going to add 10. So 19x equals 190. Divide by 19, and that tells us that our x is 10. Okay, now we need to find our angle measures. So we do 5 times 10, which is 50. 50 minus 7, which is 43 for that one. For this one, 3 times 10 is 30. 30 plus 1 is 31. So now that we have 2 that we know, we can pick B. That would be our correct answer for that one. Okay, let's do the next ones. Okay, so for this one, this is another exterior angle question. So we know this is our exterior angle. The exterior angle of a triangle is always equal to the two remote interior angles added together. So 15x equals 7x plus 1 plus 7x plus 6, which is 14x plus 7. And then to get the two variable terms on the same side, we minus 14x from both sides, so 1x equals a 7. Okay, and then we're supposed to find the measure of STP. So if we go in order here, STP, that's this angle right here. So 15 times by 7, and that is going to be a 105. 15 times by 7 is going to be a 105. Okay, find the measure of ABC. So we have to do 8x plus 6x plus 6x, and all three of those add together to equal 180. Okay, so that is 180 equal to 20x, divide by 20 on both sides, and we get a 9. Find the measure of ABC. So remember, we start at the A, B, C. So that is going to be this angle right here. This is ABC. So 8 times 9 is 72. Okay, last question. This is the most missed question. What I want you to recognize here is that we have a big triangle and we have a smaller triangle right here. Okay. And I am just going to pull those apart. So I have this big red one. See if I can kind of draw it. Okay. And on this side of the red one right here, we know that this is 72. And we know that this is 64. Okay. For the little yellow one, okay, we know that this right here is 36, and we don't know what this one is. So we have to find the proportion that will work. Okay, so when we look at this first one, they did x over 64, so little to big, but then this part is not correct. Okay, if we look at the next one, x over 64, they did little to big, but then for this one, they did big to little. And remember that when you write your ratios, it has to be the same. If you do little to big, you have to do little to big. Or if you do big to little, you have to do big to little. Okay, so let's look at the next one. They did x over 64, so little to big, over 36 over to 72, little to big. Okay, so this one will work. That is the final answer. Okay, so at this point, once you have all of your test corrections done, what I want you to do is bring me your test, and I will give you what you are going to do for your extra assignment to do the retake.